Welcome to this week's edition of MIAA 360. Broadcasting from inside the MIAA Network studios, I'm Jason Ketz. Coming up a little bit later on in the show, we caught up with Lincoln University's athletic director and men's basketball coach John Moseley. Plus, we preview postseason action on the football gridiron. But first, speaking of postseason action, the University of Central Missouri Jennie soccer team advances to their first ever national championship game with a 3-0 win over Mercy College. The Jennies grabbed an early 2-0 lead within the first 20 minutes of the game and never looked back. Number 1 UCM will play number 2 Carson Newman for the title tomorrow afternoon. Both teams enter the match unbeaten in regulation this season. Best of luck to Jennie soccer as they compete for their first ever national championship. We're going to take a quick timeout, but much more MIAA 360 coming up right after this.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Welcome back into this week's edition of MIAA 360. I'm pleased to be joined via Skype right now with John Moseley. He is the athletic director and men's basketball coach at Lincoln University. John, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it. I listed off that you're the AD and you're also the men's basketball coach, but you're also working on your doctorate degree right now. Tell me how you're able to balance everything.
Well, it's only possible if you've got good people around you, and I'm fortunate to be in a position where administratively, we've got great staff, and they've got a lot of experience, and they've been able to really help me. And then basketball-wise, I feel like I have a very good staff of assistant coaches who work really hard to help me balance both things, as well as going back to school now. And fortunately, I was asked about this last fall by our then president, Dr. Kevin Rome, who encouraged me to pursue this opportunity through a cohort program at Mizzou, and it's been really rewarding. It's been a lot of work. Wednesday nights are challenging. We're fortunate from a scheduling standpoint that we don't have games on Wednesday nights, so I was able to make the transition back to being a student. And it's been tough at times. I haven't read and I haven't had to read and write so much probably in my life, and but all those hats, along with being a husband and a father. It's just a matter of what you're committed to, and making sure that again, I think you win with people every day.
Certainly seems like you have everything accounted for, John. Talk about the process of becoming the athletic director. You were originally the interim named at the beginning of the 15-16 year, and then toward April of 2016 was when you were officially named athletic director. Talk about that process.
Well, initially in July, I got a call. I was actually back. I'm a North Carolina native. I was back there for the holidays, and got a call about serving in the interim capacity. Initially, it was expected to be until October, and they were planning to have someone in place. And after I got back to Jeff City, and we went through the transition, and we started out in this journey. It was a brand new experience for me. I had a master's degree in athletic administration, but I really didn't know the day-to-day operations of being an athletic director. And so that was a crash course right away. We made some changes here. We started a Blue Tiger Athletic Club, which is an all-encompassing booster club for each of our sports. And so we got off to a good start there. And then at the same time, basketball began to win a little bit. And the momentum that we built from basketball here in the community and our relationships, and we've invested a lot in Jefferson City, and in return, Jefferson City's invested a lot back into us. And to have that second year's basketball coach and first year's AD, and we were able to turn the corner and have the first winning season in quite a while, made a big difference in the support that we received here. And so I was fortunate in April of that year when they came back to me and offered me the opportunity to serve in both capacities permanently. It's been quite an experience. I have a brand new appreciation for what athletic directors do. I have another appreciation for how basketball coaches, how hard they have to work to make sure that you're recruiting student athletes and you're managing the student athletes that you have. It does take a lot of time, but again, I've been fortunate to be around good people, and I still haven't. I make sure I don't take a step back on my responsibility of being a father and being a husband as well. So it's I feel really blessed to be given this opportunity here at Lincoln University.
John, you mentioned a little bit about that Blue Tiger Athletic Club. To my understanding, you were one of the original founders of this club. Talk about how much of an impact it's made at Lincoln University.
Well, when I first arrived here, we had the Blue Tiger Quarterback Club, which, and when you hear those words, you instantly think football. And it was important for us to get under one umbrella and support all of our athletic programs. So during my season as basketball coach, my first season, I was asked to judge a chili contest here in Jefferson City, and the guy that invited me, actually, after it was over, he said, "Hey, we want to come to a basketball game." So they did, and unfortunately that night UCM beat me pretty badly, handily, my first year and here at home. But afterwards, I got to speak with that group, and they said, "Coach, we really want to help you." And little did I know that 5 months later, 6 months later, that would come in the form of many of those individuals becoming key cogs in the Blue Tiger Athletic Club. Since 2015, we've grown. That initial year, we had 152 members. And as I sit here now, we have 248. And
wow.
Our goal this year was 225, and we were able to pass that by October 1st. And I really think during basketball season, I think we'll jump over 250. And that group's been really, really helpful. When I arrived at Lincoln University, they had just renovated a weight room here and had all new equipment. And that group is actually paying for the equipment for us. And so what they do is they help with that weight room loan, as well as each of our individual sports are able to make requests throughout the year, and the Blue Tiger Athletic Club does their best to step up and meet our needs.
John, one of the most recent things at Lincoln has been the renovations to the football stadium. Talk about that process and all the new things that Lincoln Tiger football fans can see out there at the football stadium.
We did. It's the first time in a long time that renovations have been made athletically here. We have a brand new wellness center that was constructed and opened last March. And that had been about a year-long process prior to that. That's a joint effort with the City of Jefferson's Parks and Recreation Department. And then so after we got that momentum going, we relocated the softball field as a result of that construction. And then we passed a student athletic fee here at Lincoln University, which each of our students contribute $10 per credit hour that goes directly to athletics to help fund the student experience, facilities, and scholarships for our athletic programs. And so by doing so, we stepped up and we put turf down in the stadium, brand new LED lighting, a big-time video scoreboard. In addition, in the bottom of the wellness center, we had locker room space for football and office space for football, men's and women's track. And then our men's and women's track team got locker rooms as well in that facility. We've had extremely significant amounts of success in track here, 12 national championships for a women's track program. And now they have a locker room space to call their own. So we've been very blessed from a timing standpoint since I've been here. And I'd like to think at the same time we've made some good decisions and we've gotten people to buy into what it is that athletics can do for a university and for a community. And now we're seeing the fruits of some of those labors.
Again, we're pleased to be joined with John Moseley. He is the athletic director and men's basketball coach at Lincoln University. John, talk about some of the biggest challenges that you face as Lincoln's AD.
I think every one of us in this seat face the challenge of just funding. You want to be able to put your student athletes in a position where they can be successful, and you want to help your coaches as much as they can to make sure that they have what they need to give the student athletes the best chance at success. And we're fortunate. We have a very good coaching staff. We have a very good administration. The funding has certainly improved during my time here. As basketball coach, when I came in, we were sitting at about 6.5 scholarships, and today we're sitting here about 9.2, 9.3. Wow. So, when you're in a league such as the MIAA with so many outstanding schools, administrators, and coaches, you have to really step your game up if you want to be competitive. And I really do feel like we're at the beginning stages of that right here, right now. We've had certainly individual programs that have experienced success, but I think because of the increases in scholarship dollars and improvements in facilities, an administration that cares about athletics has been a big difference for the progress that I think we're right on the verge of here at Lincoln.
Now, Lincoln University is a member of the MIAA, but in football, you guys are part of the GLVC. Why does the GLVC conference a better fit for Lincoln University?
Well, Lincoln University is a historically black college and university founded by African American soldiers, and it's important that we maintain our legacy. And playing in the MIAA, we only had the opportunity in football to play conference games, conference opponents. And our previous president, Dr. Kevin Crum, who hired me and gave me the opportunity here, prior to my arrival, had conversations with the MIAA about allowing Lincoln to schedule some non-conference games against other HBCUs. And the MIAA granted that opportunity. So we've taken advantage of it. We've played Langston University. In fact, they played Grambling in Kansas City a few years ago at Arrowhead. We followed that up with playing Langston and Arrowhead. But we've also played Lane University, Lane College out of Lane University out of Memphis, Tennessee. We played Albany State. We've played Lincoln University of Pennsylvania. And many of our national alumni identify with those old rivalries. It's been fun to rekindle some of those rivalries. We've continued that in men's basketball by playing Harris Stowe and playing Langston University over in Kansas City. So it's the MIAA. We appreciate the opportunity to be able to play some of these out-of-conference games against teams that there's a long history between Lincoln and those particular institutions.
Yeah, that game against Langston University back on November 17th, a 74-65 win for your squad. Talk about the atmosphere that night and what it meant to be playing in Kansas City and at the IL Fieldhouse.
Again, because of the history between the two institutions and the fact that we do play them in football, it makes it fun. It makes it really for a fun environment for that night. It gives our student athletes a chance to play in somewhat of a rivalry game, and we enjoy. I know as a coach, I enjoy coming to Kansas City because the Kansas City alumni for Lincoln University, you never have to wonder whether or not they're going to show up to support you. And we have many alums in the Kansas City area, and it gives them an opportunity to almost have a home game in their backyard. Yep. So they come out, and it's exposure for our institution to students who are pursuing college. And it gives students there in the Kansas City public school system an opportunity to see what Lincoln stands for and what it's all about. So it's a fun night. We travel with our bands. We travel with our cheerleaders. And everybody gets involved, and we've been fortunate to come up there 2 years in a row now and get a win, and that makes things even better.
Speaking of playing in Kansas City, obviously, last year you guys made a significant run in the MIAA tournament, making it to the semifinals, and took a last-second shot by Northwest Missouri State to beat you guys in that game. But talk about that atmosphere and talk about playing in a pressure-packed situation against top competition who ended up winning the national championship.
Well, we played them really close at home during the year. We had a young man last year, who was a senior, Anthony Padua, who scored 50 points here in Jeff City against them, and they beat us by 5. And one of the single most impressive individual performances I've ever seen as a coach. So we felt that we had the opportunity to play those guys in Kansas City, that we would, if we just came and played our game, we would have a chance. And Coach McCullum's done an outstanding job there. Building a program at Northwest, and he set the bar high here in the MIAA right now. And we had a bunch of seniors last year who came in with an attitude of changing the direction of this program, and they were able to accomplish that. And we did. We went toe to toe with Northwest, and Mr. Pitts had a tremendous game. I'll probably be the happiest person in the MIAA to see him graduate this year, but. It was fun for us. It was fun. Again, we had a great showing from the fan base. Yep. And as we started to make a run there in that game in Kansas City, you felt the energy and the atmosphere that you want your student athletes to experience the opportunity to participate in March Madness. And it's been fun having a role and putting Lincoln back in the March Madness mix.
Coach, your team's off to a 4-3 start this season so far. MIAA play begins next week. What are your expectations of your squad this year?
Well, we've got a brand new group here for the first 7 games. My first 8 players have been guys that have never dressed for Lincoln until this year. So it's been fun. But when you add, you mentioned earlier all my other responsibilities, but having a brand new group, you spend a lot of time teaching, and that takes a lot of time. But my hat's off to these guys, these young men that are representing our program this year. They've They've come in from all over the place, but they've bought into each other, into our program. We've played well at times. Really, at times early this season, we've played well, and there's been other times where it looks like you've got 8 new guys playing. But I do expect this is going to be a team that will continue to improve throughout the season. I know the MIAA coaches picked us where they picked us. Trust and believe that's in our locker room. We were picked 11th out of 14th. But, I don't believe we have the 11th place talent. And I think these guys have something to show and something to prove. And so as we begin MIAA play next week, I think this league, once again, is going to prove itself to be one of the top men's basketball leagues in the country. And it's a given that you better bring your A game every night or you can be defeated. So I think the MIAA is going to shape up to be another battle. And the MIAA conference office will be sitting around a table in March trying to figure out all the tiebreakers because the parity in this league is second to none.
Great stuff, John Moseley. He is the athletic director and men's basketball coach at Lincoln University. John, thank you so much for the time. Best of luck in both the AD role and with the men's basketball team this season for Lincoln. We appreciate the time.
Thanks, and go Blue Tigers.
We've got our heads in the game,
our minds in the classroom,
our hands in the community,
and our feet ready for the world.
We're a part of the NCAA Division II experience.
Using our skills
at our universities and in our communities. I chose the MIAA.
I chose the MIAA.
MIAA, the spirit of our communities.
Welcome back to MIAA 360. Tomorrow afternoon we'll conclude the season for 4 MIAA football teams as UCM, Pittsburgh State, UCO, and Washburn all compete in bowl games. Let's preview those 4 matchups right now. In the 52nd Annual Mineral Water Bowl in Excelsior Springs, it'll be the Central Missouri Mules taking on the Minnesota Duluth Bulldogs out of the Northern Sun. The Mules finished the regular season with an 8-3 record, back-to-back wins and wins in 5 of their last 6 games. Led by junior quarterback Brooke Bowles, who was recently selected as one of the 10 finalists for the 2017 Harlan Hill Trophy, given annually to the NCAA Division II College Football Player of the Year. Minnesota Duluth also comes in on a winning streak, closing the season with 8 straight wins to finish 9-2, which was good enough to win the Northern Sun North Division. The Mules and Bulldogs have met just one other time in the 2001 Mineral Water Bowl as the Mules came out on top 48-17. The game will be broadcasted free to view at the MIAA Network.com. The game is also available for viewing on the MIAA Network apps for Amazon Fire TV, Android TV, Apple TV, and Roku. The 5th annual Agent Barry Live United Bowl in Texarkana, Arkansas, has the Pittsburgh State Gorillas taking on the Arkansas Tech Wonder Boys out of the Great American Conference. The Gorillas enter tomorrow's game on a 5-game winning streak, including knocking off rival Northwest Missouri State, snapping the Bearcats' 38-game winning streak. The Wonder Boys opened the 2017 season with back-to-back wins over NCAA Division II top 25 opponents and came up short in a bid for a share of the 2017 GAC championship in a hard-fought loss to Harding University in the regular season finale back on November 11th. This will be the 11th all-time meeting between the Gorillas and Wonder Boys, the first in 31 years, as the Gorillas have won the previous 4 meetings. You can watch this game as it will be streamed live on the Great America Conference Sports Network. In the inaugural Corsicana Bowl in Corsicana, Texas, the Central Oklahoma Broncos will face off with the Tarleton State Texans of the Lone Star Conference. The Broncos finished the season on a 5-game winning streak and possess a high-powered offensive attack led by senior quarterback Chaz Stollard, who owns nearly every UCO passing record. Senior wide receiver J.T. Looper led the country in receiving yards this season. The MIAA Offensive Player of the Year was also recently selected as a top 10 finalist for the 2017 Harlan Hill Trophy. The Texans are led by quarterback Zed Warner, who owns the school record with 70 career touchdown passes and an offense that averages just under 30 points and 350 yards per game. This game will renew a slight rivalry between the two schools as UCO was a member of the Lone Star Conference, When they played Tarleton State 10 times and hold a 6-4 overall record. You can watch this game live pay-per-view on flowfootball.com. And in our final bowl game, the 17th annual Champs Heart of Texas Bowl takes place in Copperas Cove, Texas, as the Washburn Ichabods take on the Angelo State Rams out of the Lone Star Conference. The Ichabods are playing in a postseason bowl for the second consecutive season. This will mark their 13th postseason game appearance in program history and their 7th bowl. The Ichabods have the 4th best scoring offense in the MIAA at 31 points per game and the 4th best scoring defense, allowing just over 26. The Rams are riding a 3-game winning streak, including a 74-24 win over Texas Permian Basin in their last regular season game. The bowl game will be the first meeting between these two schools. Watch live as this game will be televised on Fox College Sports Pacific and will be streamed on the Fox Sports Go app. Check your local listings. Best of luck to UCM, Pitt State, UCO, and Washburn football as they compete in their bowl games tomorrow. And a special congratulations to the Missouri Western Griffins volleyball team. They advanced to the Central Regional Finals with a win over UNK in the quarters. They will play the winner of Northern State and Minnesota Duluth in that semifinals matchup. And that's our show for this week. From all of us here at the MIAA Network, I'm Jason Ketz. Thanks for watching, and until next time, bring your A game.